Sorry, I bet some of you haven't seen me smile in a while. I've been going through some things, so if you can pray for me, I would really appreciate it. And the enemy, we all know it, he ain't got nothing on God. He ain't got nothing on him. I've just been dealing with some things like I sometimes do, but pray for me, please. So, I've just been curious on something, and I don't know if I'd call it my theory, but I guess it kind of is my theory, but I wasn't really, I don't know. I struggle with some things, but I kind of carry something because it's hard for me to sometimes be verbal, but I'm probably better with writing things down, and I journal. I like to journal a lot, journal in a notebook or write stuff down more. I'm more like, I believe I'm more borderline autistic in a way because it's hard for me to get my words out. But I also see life in a more creative form and visual creative forms. So I wrote this down and I was just really curious about it. And if anyone can understand what I'm saying, I'm about to read something and I wrote it down, but it has to do with, there's a man I like to watch. His name is Jordan Peterson. He's like a clinical psychologist. He's a Canadian clinical psychologist. And I've watched almost probably all of his speeches and different things, what he says. And when he talks about, this man named, what is his name? Nietzsche. He was like he wasn't a theorist. He was, he had different teaching and everything, but Jordan on one of his videos kept talking, or a couple of his videos talks about the left and the right brain. And it's like a split, there's your left brain, your right brain, the left side hemisphere, the right side hemisphere of your brain. And the right side of your brain is more about logical thinking, like being more, I guess you could say, like being more of a realist, like mathematics, like you could think of business, you could think of, I don't know, think of jobs, for instance, like real estate or something like that. It's like mathematics. Well, that's more of like your logical thinking, like being more of a realist. That's your right side of your hemisphere, your right brain is in charge of all that, being more logical about your thinking, being more of a realist, I should say. The left side hemisphere of your left side of your brain is, it's in charge of I guess you could say like people who are more creative, creativity, imagination, all that stuff. And I've come to realize, people that have people like me, borderline autism, people with aspergers, there's something else, I can't remember the name. I guess you'd call them aspergers, but no, it was something else. There's another name for this other disorder, I can't remember, but it actually, some people when they have it, they'll find a talent that they're good at and they'll just get really good at that talent, but they're better than almost everybody else, if not better than all people at it. But it's it's some disorder, I can't think of the name, but that's what, anyway, going back to what I was saying, that's like a split. So your right and your left hemisphere, but I told you your left side hemisphere, your left brain is in charge of creativity, imagination, creativity, ways of thinking. And that's I'm more of a left hemisphere type person. I like to use more of my left side of my brain because I'm more a creative thinker. I think more creatively. I see life in a creative and artistic way. I used to rap poetry all the time when I was younger. I wanted to read something off, and I've just been really curious about it when Jordan was talking about it. I just kept pondering on it and thinking about it. And I'm just wondering, when you take because I'm an empath, but also I use more of my left side hemisphere of my brain, and I think more creativity, and I think more of in music. I guess I could see things in more of a music note type thing, implied in the creativity and artistic way. Even out in nature to me is in art form, creativity, and I can see music notes in natures and the leaves and music notes. I can see like different things, and it's not like I'm trying to form out my head, but that's just how I kind of like see things, just more of a creative way of thinking. And so I wrote this down, and I wanted someone to think about this, because when I think about that, and I think about me being an empath, and I think about, like, is it easier for empaths? Like, is there something to it, okay? Where at people with autism, borderline autism, Aspergers, different disorders that give people great challenge, and they go out either change the world or they do something great with it. Is there something to it? But they can also it's almost like their sensitivity is higher, but it's easier for them to get into the spiritual setting. Like it's easier, I guess you'd say that people I've noticed as well, just like me, it's easier for them to see in the spirit realm easier than other people. And I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like these disorders and these documentaries I've seen on this stuff, you think about it with all that, plus you think about them being highly sensitive with highly spiritual as well with that. Is it easier for us just to access the spiritual realm easier than it is your normal Christian or a person or anything like that? Even people who step into the full power and full anointing of the Holy Spirit, is it easier? Is there something to it that in our brains we have that in our brains? Like people like that, since we use more of our left side of our brains anyways, there's something to that. I've been researching this and I'm still trying to figure it out. It's freaking mind-boggling, man. And I wanted to read something off, and it just makes me so curious about this. I want to study into it more. Okay, is there also, like, you think about it, because when I'm looking at this as well, it's like I can also see within the center of the brain, and I'm not even lying, no joke to this. And some people might think I'm crazy for saying this, but it's like literally, with me using more of my left side of my brain, the left side of my hemisphere, I almost see like there's a vibrational note in the center, and it's like vibrating for every time I'll step out into the spirit realm, because I've said I've seen angels and demons ever since I was little, ever since I was a baby. I could see angels and demons. Plus I died when I was my mother was giving me, bathing me in the bathtub. I had died for a moment, then I came back, and I don't know if that had something to do with it or what, but ever since then I've been able to see angels and demons easy, and go out in this world and just be able to see this stuff, and also being able to see creativity, like music notes in nature and different vibrational things and all that stuff. Like, I can see a vibration. I don't know how to describe it. It's like something is vibrating, like I can see a music note, or not a music note, but a vibration. It's like, I'll go ahead and read this off. Is there a vibrational pattern between the two parts, such as one side can be in the physical realm and the other part of your being, like I'm talking about, like a Homo sapien, a human being? Is there a vibrational pattern between both sides of your brain, the two parts, such as one side can be in the physical realm and the other part of your brain can be in the spiritual realm as well at the same time? How can we approach this? And when we are talking about people with these disorders such as borderline autism, Aspergers, and people as well being empaths, does it all connect? Is there something there? Is there something to this? I've been doing research. I've just been wondering about this. I also know that one part of our brain, it's called the cerebral cortex. I can't say it right. Cerebral cortex is one aspect, plus the other aspects, and it's in charge of our dreaming. Like when we go to sleep at night and we dream, our cerebral cortexes are one part. Now, it's not all part, but it's just the one part that is in control of our dreaming. But what we dream, that's another way. That's just tapping into the spirit realm. your cerebral cortex plus your left side of hemisphere, your left hemisphere, your cerebral cortex plus your left brain, your left hemisphere. I like left hemisphere, me personally. That of the brain, can it create vibrational patterns pulling away from the right side of your brain so you can fully step out into the spiritual realm, thus creating vibrational patterns. I'll read that off again. Cerebral cortex plus the left hemisphere of the brain, can it create vibrational patterns? Like if you think of like a music note, for instance, and it's just almost like a music note, but it's almost like it's not upright, it's like turned, and it's in the center of your brain, and it's like it's pulling something from the right side of your brain over to the left side, plus something it's taking from the cerebral cortex of how you dream, and it's just like flowing there. But it all has to do with all that, and it's pulling away, and it's easier. So like your right side's still in the physical, but the left side of your brain is can move over into the spirit realm. So it's easier for people who are empaths and people who use the left side of their brains. Is it easier for them to step out into the spirit realm better, and one part of their brain's in the physical while the other part's in the spirit realm as well? This sounds nuts to me, but I'm just posing something because I just kept thinking about this. I prayed about this, and I'm just wondering, is there really something to it? And I'll read that bottom part off again. So if, in case anyone forgot, your cerebral cortex plus the left side of the hemisphere, your left brain, can it create vibrational patterns in the center of your brain, pulling away from the right side of the brain, or your right hemisphere, so you can fully step out into the spiritual realm, fully, or I guess halfway, but I'll say fully, I guess. Thus creating vibrational patterns. So it's like pulling something away from your right side of your brain to the left side. And that action right there creates these vibrational notes. And it's connected as well to your cerebral cortexes plus other sides of your brain, I guess, that creates the dreaming. And let me turn to the back stuff to go some more stuff. Is there a vibrational frequency or vibrational frequencies pulling or fluctuating from the right over to the left brain while bouncing off of the cerebral cortex? This makes us more in tune with more spiritual things. And I'll read that off one more time. Are there vibrational frequencies pulling or fluctuating from the right over to the left brain while bouncing off of the cerebral cortex? Pulling off, bouncing, little left brain while bouncing off of the cerebral cortex. And this makes us more in tune, as in more aware, with more spiritual things. And does I don't really like calling it mental health, because I see it as being more of a gift from God than anything else. I know society labels it as mental illness. Plus I deal with depression and everything too, yada yada yada. But is there something to it? And mental illnesses or autism, does it connect with empathy or being an empath, creating vibrations to be more spiritual sound? Left side of the brain, is there more spiritual activity going on in the left hemisphere or the left side of your brain? Is there more spiritual activity going on? As in what I was saying before, being fully aware, I guess. Is that why I see, like, I've been able to see, like, someone who's been able to see angels and demons their whole life from the time that they were born? There's a vibrational frequency going on in the center of their brain, and it's like it's pulling something from the right side of your brain, the right hemisphere, and it's like it's connecting to your cerebral cortex, but it's also in the left hemisphere, but like it's working out your creativity, imagination, and all that But it's like this side of your brain, me being an empath as well, is all empaths. Like a lot of empaths, I don't know, not all empaths. I think some empaths think logically too. Some. So, but is there the vibrational frequencies, like with that, like pulling over, and especially where if you use the left side of your brain, is the vibrational frequencies of that, like, is that why we see like angels and demons and all the spiritual realm easier? Does it make us see it easier? I don't know what to make of this, but it's just something I was pondering on and just thinking about. And I had to pray about it. I don't know what to think about it. It really is just blowing my mind. And some people might call me crazy and just, oh, bro, you're going crazy. You need to go see a shrink or something. No. God has been showing me things about my own self. And it literally is, it's literally like making me see things in a whole nother way, in a whole nother aspect. The brain's cortex is a spot controlling our dreams and deep sleep. It's deep sleep ways of thinking. But it's the left side of your brain. And it's the vibrational frequencies pulling something from the right side of my brain. So again, a frequency that's here, because I use more of my left side of my brain. It's in control of more creativity, imagination, art-filled things. And when I'm seeing into the spirit, is there a vibrational frequency here? Since the autism's there, do the disorders create these vibrational frequencies in the center of the brain to be able to pull something out from the right side, or just be able to form that vibrational frequency? So it don't matter which side of the brain we use, we're able to see better in the spirit, I don't know what to make of this. I don't. It's very strange, but like I said, I see things more in a creative way and artistic way, and I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. But anyone who wants to comment on this, I wish I could talk to like a psychologist. I wish I could talk to Jordan Peterson about this, or I know I talked to God about this and pray about someone else as well. I don't know what to think about it, so I don't know what to think of it. I don't. So, pray for me. Pray, please. Somebody. I'll be praying for myself too, so. God bless everyone who sees my videos, and I'm just looking forward to the future and just how can I please God and serve God better. So, being more obedient, as I should say. God bless everyone who sees this, and have a great night in Jesus' name.